All right, all right, all right. Let me double check and make sure everything is smooth. It usually is, y'all. Shout out to my software. This particular software has been pretty good to me, but I always want to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. Okay, Facebook. There we go. Tell me I'm live then. Tell me I'm live. All right, all right. Facebook, YouTube. Okay. So we locked in. Okay. So this live is just to cover the last few chapters of Atomic Habits by James Clear. I seen something online talking about how the book was a little front heavy, and I had to disagree. I feel like the book, it couldn't have been organized any better. A lot of people run from things like changing habits because what happens is we try to minimize our habits. I have a bad habit of eating sweets. I am a sweet head, and I have minimized this habit for years and years. And the doctors have given me more and more reasons to minimize this habit because they always tell me that my blood pressure is good and everything is good. And I say, see, I told y'all, I told y'all that eating sweets is not gonna do what y'all said it's gonna do. Look at my teeth. I say, see, my teeth ain't falling out. I told y'all was wrong. I've been eating sweets all my life. And a few weeks ago, I went to the doctor and everything checked out. You know, I was still healthy. So this ain't that type of podcast. But I was still healthy, but I was a little heavier than I thought I was because I work out like a motherfucker. And I was like, dog, I should not be this heavy with how hard I'm working out in the gym. So I had already started reading this book and I was like, look, I need to change some habits for the sake of them being bad habits. And I need to quit lying to myself. So I decided that I was going to tighten up on my monk mode, which I was already in monk mode. And I was about a week into monk mode, and I was like, "Look, Imma have to add some time to it." And if you are not familiar with monk mode, you can look it up. But monk mode is when you shut down a lot of things that you're used to. So in my monk mode, I decided that I wasn't gonna give up some of the things that other people give up and count those things because I already don't drink alcohol. I'm already not a porn guy, like, I'm not sitting on porn. So I decided to give up potato chips on top of sweets, and then I decided to give up bread. The last week or so, I haven't had bread, and that meant pizza, and I love pizza. I'm like a Ninja Turtle, like, really like a Ninja Turtle. So I had to do some searching amongst my within myself, and after searching within myself, I said, "There's some things that I need to give up and some things that I could do to, make myself more healthier." And that's what I've done. So it's been 3 weeks, no sweets, no caffeine. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I am heavy on the energy drinks. I even have energy pills, y'all. I take a lot of energy stuff because I am ducking sleep. I'm finding ways to not sleep and I'm trying to do as much as I can throughout the day. But after reading the first few chapters, I decided that there were some things that I needed to do better. And not only personally, and monk mode wasn't the only thing. So I decided to do a little better within my business and I decided to get more sleep, and I've been doing better with getting sleep. I don't mind taking a nap here and there, and I have been notoriously against naps. And I feel better without the energy drinks. And the first few days was a little hard, but the last couple weeks have been pretty uneventful when it comes to the energy drinks or the lack thereof. And that's not anything that had anything to do with health. I don't know how bad the energy drinks are, but I don't like anything being held over me. And I was probably up to like 3, 4 energy drinks a day. and it's no reason for nobody to drink all of those damn energy drinks. So I decided to kick that habit, and I haven't had any sweets in 3 weeks, and that's pretty much the longest I've been without them because I did monk mode earlier this year for 3 weeks, and I did it last year once for 3 weeks. But this time I decided to extend it to 4 weeks, and I may extend it further. And even if I do enjoy myself, I'm getting like right back into it because I've already seen results just from not eating bread and sweets and everything. I lost 5 pounds this week. I have not did anything extra in my workout. I've literally had a pretty consistent workout the last 2 or 3 years maybe, but I have, changed my diet a lot these last few weeks, and I see the difference. Like today I'm a vegetarian for the people who don't know, and that didn't do it. I've been a vegetarian for a little over 2 years, and that hasn't, seen any major results in weight loss, but that wasn't the reason that I did it anyway. But um, I had a veggie burger today with no bun. I didn't eat French fries. I had a little potato salad. No, I had mashed potatoes and a little um macaroni maybe. But I gave up fried foods for the past week, and I gave up bread, and I see the results. So that's what habits are all about. It's all about doing what gets you closer to your goal. And I know that I am maybe 20 pounds over my fighting weight, and I'm not necessarily trying to fight, but I feel like I am better at about 205, and I'm carrying around about 225. Well, actually, I was less today. I was like 222 maybe. But I'm just losing weight, like just from changing my diet. And that's what habits are all about. So in the beginning of the book, we covered what it took to actually break a habit and start a new habit, and that was consistency, and that was actually seeing a person instead of setting a goal. So instead of you saying you want to lose 20 pounds and be healthier, you have to be the person that loses 20 pounds and that is healthier. And that's the same thing with any other type of goal. Instead of being a millionaire, you have to be the type of person that commands being a millionaire. That what characteristics does this millionaire have? And you have to take on the characteristics in order to do that with any type of consistency. So after reading all of those chapters, and we got into chapter 15, and that was all about how immediate gratification affects us, and we disregard the long-term effects. So we could look at something like smoking. I don't want to dog smokers, but this one never made any sense to me. People read the front of the pack of cigarettes or the back, whatever, depending on the cigarette, and it tells you that this may cause lung cancer. Yet people still smoke cigarettes. And then they smoke more and more cigarettes. Even though the people who are making these cigarettes are warning you that these cigarettes may cause lung cancer. So you get a nicotine rush or whatever. I've never been a cigarette smoker, but you get this nicotine in your system, and it's a different type of dependency than drugs. It may even be stronger than some drugs. And you get this in your system, and you disregard the fact that the people who make these are telling you that they may cause lung cancer. So you are worried about immediate gratification, and you are totally disregarding the fact that these cigarettes could cause you lung cancer until you have lung cancer, right? Think about this. The price of cigarettes are going up. The people who make cigarettes are telling you that these cigarettes may cause lung cancer. They're putting it clear on the packaging that this may cause lung cancer. Yet and still you are, excuse me, yet and still you are developing a habit and you are feeding this habit and you do not take on the responsibility of trying to break this habit, even though you know that cigarettes may cause lung cancer because the people who manufacture these cigarettes are telling you that these cigarettes may cause lung cancer. You are not worried about the risk that is far away because you are focused on the immediate gratification that smoking these cigarettes give you. It's the same thing with sex. We are in an age where sex is open, sex is everywhere. You cannot open up your phone and not see sex everywhere. And there are things that come with sex. There are sexually transmitted diseases. There are bonds that you have with people that's a little more mental or spiritual than it is physical. And then there are babies. So you have to raise kids with someone, but you're not worried about having to raise this kid with this person. You are more focused on getting a nut. So the only thing that you're worried about is immediate gratification. You're worried about enjoying the right now. You're not worried about sexually transmitted diseases. You're not worried about having to raise kids with this person or these people. You are not concerned with anything other than the immediate experience, the satisfaction that you have from having sex. And it's the same thing with eating. So with me, as I just explained, I love sweets. I have loved sweets all of my life, and I get it fair and square. My mom is a big sweet eater, and I didn't know my daddy, but he had his own addictions, and they killed him. So addiction runs in my family, and my addiction just so happened to be sweets. I have always loved sweets, and recently I decided to do a monk mode and I extended it, and I have not had sweets in 3 weeks and I got another week of monk mode. But I'm feeling like I'm not going to do what I did the last two monk modes. I did one last year and one earlier this year. I explained I'm not going to do it. And I planned on doing two more this year. And I may extend them to maybe 5 weeks and then 6 weeks. So it's all about making it's all about making good habits. And that's all this book is talking about is you should incentivize the good habit so that you have immediate gratification for doing something good. If you can incentivize the good habit, let's say the good habit is working out and you incentivize it, and the incentive could be, we're not going to say a slice of cake because that's defeating the purpose. You stuck at you literally stuck at a draw. So we're not going to say we're going to incentivize it for a piece of cake. Let's say you work out, you could go buy yourself a new tech toy if you work out all month. If you don't miss a day this month, you buy yourself a new tech toy. So let's say you do that and every month you do your 4 days a week or 5 days a week, whatever you decide as a goal that you're going to set, and you do that and you do that. You can incentivize this and this will get the ball rolling. So if you can do this for 3 or 4 months with the incentive, and the incentive could be a tech toy or maybe it's something else that you wanted, and you can give yourself three different incentives for that first 90 days because the incentive is not going to work after a certain amount of time. So after that, this should be a habit. This is what forming a habit is all about, is going at it with a plan. So if you have this habit and you are tracking this habit, as I said, let's talk about being in the gym. If you are keeping up with being in the gym and you have a habit tracker, now you have something that you are committed to, and you can look at this planner and say, hey, I went to the gym 4 days every week this month. I can get whatever it is that I have used to incentivize me going to the gym 4 days out the week. Or you could look at that and say, hey, I missed these days. I had nothing going on, but I bounced back, and you could still be encouraged. So this is where we have the wherewithal to say what works best for me. Now, after you have a habit tracker, you should not be a slave to your habit tracker. This will help you focus on the process and not the goal. So now you're not worried about the weight loss that you are set out to have. You're not worried about the 205. You're looking at the actual habit. Hey, I'm getting in the gym. I am keeping up with the process and not just the goal. And this will help you stay motivated because you may not see the loss that you're looking for in your weight, but you know that you are sticking to the program and you are trusting the process. Now, you should not make the tracking of the goal the actual process. You should not say, "Hey, I'm going to track this every day and make that the goal," right? So, once you have a habit tracker implemented, you can also have an accountability partner. And this is somebody who may not go to the gym with you, but they could hold you accountable when you don't go to the gym because you may tell them, "Hey, if I don't go to the gym, punch me in the face." And they can't wait to punch you in the face. Or you may tell them, "Hey, for every day I don't go to the gym," it may be your trainer. You could say, "I'm going to give you $100." And that's one of the things that James Clear talked about within chapter 17. That is very important. So, towards the end of the book, James Clear talked about specialization and how that could help you overcome bad genetics. A lot of people feel like some things are out of their hands. As I just explained, my mother had habits and my father died from his habits. So I could easily say, "Hey, I do this because it's in my blood." I see people that say, "Hey, I'm big boned. My family is big boned." And they do everything that they can to get rid of responsibility so that they don't have to be held accountable to not sticking to goals and to not taking care of themselves in whatever way that they deem possible. So when your genetics are designed a certain way, you may have to work a little harder. So, yes, you may be big bone because it's in your family, but a lot of times you're not big bone because it's in your family. A lot of times you're thicker because of the bad habits that have been passed down within your family. So, you may be a little thicker because your family cooks everything with way too much salt or way too much butter and they eat way too many fried foods. There are a lot of things that may be the cause of some of the things that you're going through, and all of them are not genetics. Now, in order for you to overcome whatever your genetics do give you, you have to do what's natural to you. So, if you are a certain height, people look at people that's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and say, "Man, why you not playing basketball?" Because that's the natural thing to do when you're 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". I went to school with a guy named Darius at Southfield Lathrop, and Darius was 6'8" in the 10th grade. No joke. Darius was huge. And Darius was one of the smartest people that I've ever met in my life. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Darius. I wouldn't even know how to look him up, but Darius was very intelligent. And Darius did not want to play basketball. All they wanted Darius to do was play basketball. "Why don't you play basketball? You're so tall. You're so this. You're so that." And Darius told me one day, and I've always been inquisitive. Now this is something that came natural to me in coaching. But I asked Darius, I say, "Darius," because I played ball and I played ball with Darius, and Darius sucked. Darius sucked and he didn't care to try, but they wanted Darius on the team because Darius was 6'8" in the 10th grade. And I asked Darius, I'm like, "You don't feel like you getting any better?" And he was like, "Nah, because I don't want to get any better." He had a 4.0 grade point average and Darius wanted to be a doctor. Darius had no care for basketball. But his father was huge and his genetics said, "Hey, you should play basketball." That was the natural thing for him to do. I don't know what happened to Darius. I actually haven't seen Darius since the 10th grade, but I'm pretty sure he's successful at whatever he put his mind to because he was very intelligent. He was so smart. Like, I'm like, dog, this dude is crazy smart. And that's a lot coming from me because I consider myself to be pretty smart. But this man was like very intelligent and he wanted nothing to do with basketball. Whatever you do, it has to align with your personality and your skills. Basketball did not align with Darius's personality or his skills. Darius was smart. He wasn't as athletic. So you have to do what comes natural, even if your genetics say something else, because you have a personality. And if you do something that you love, something that you enjoy, then you could specialize in it. It's hard to specialize in anything that you don't really love because there are peaks and valleys in your specialization. You'll learn something. You'll realize you don't know everything, but you'll try to learn something else. But the more you learn, the more you realize there are other things that you don't know. So you're always chasing a dragon when it comes to specialization. And you need to love what you're specializing in because it will continue to change. Now, towards the end of the book, he talked about the Goldilocks rule, and it's a way to stay motivated. And basically explained that once a habit is mastered, a slight decline is evident and is imminent. I'm sorry. So once a habit is mastered, a slight decline is imminent because you get cocky. You get very cocky when you master something. You know that you're great and you get cocky. This is what happens to a lot of players that get to the NBA. They may have been the craziest talent in high school and college, and then they get to the NBA and they feel like they made it. And then they stop working out as hard and they stop being motivated because they feel like they made it. And then these people end up in D leagues and overseas, and there's nothing wrong with that, except it's not the NBA. It's not what you set out to do. And until people understand how important it is to stay motivated and to deliberately practice whatever it is that you're doing, to make a habit out of practice, because that is what mastery is. And the only way to master something is if you truly love it, because you can have a skill or a talent and you could not be as committed to it. But if you love something, then you're willing to do whatever it takes to get in the nitty gritty and handle your business. So, this was the coverage of the end of James Clear's Atomic Habits. Next week, we are going to start reading The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. So next week we're going to start reading the Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. I actually have that book here. Hold on. As I stated before, a lot of the look is fresh. This is a brand new book. I have all of Robert Greene's books, including his daily book, everything. Like, I love Robert Greene. I love Robert Greene. So this is the next book we're going to read in the Business Builders Book Club, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Now, you do not have to go get the book. I have the book amongst my hundreds of other books that I have behind me. Some of them are not even on the bookshelf, but this is all books. The whole bookshelf is books. See, let me show you. See, the whole bookshelf is book. It's not like a prop. I love reading and I can't wait to delve into this book because I have not read this book. I have been locked into college and I have not taken the time to read this one or the daily reading one. and I want to get into that. And that's the reason why we're doing this. It has nothing to do with y'all, but everything to do with me. I really want to get into this book. And I have this book available to everybody in the book club. It is in PDF form. If you are not in my community, the business builders community, I am going to leave the link here for the funnel. This is the easiest way for me to get you to the community. So don't mind some of the it's a lot of upsells. If you need software or whatever, um you can get in there. But okay, so this is not popping up as a link. Hold on. Let's see if this one pop up as a link. Get in there. That is the link. I don't know why this not popping up as a link, y'all. Let me check on Facebook to make sure that this is popping up as a link for y'all, so y'all can get in there. Let me make sure that this is popping up as a link. Well, even after the video stops, I'll make sure that the link is posted that you can get into the community. It's a free community, and I am giving all of the books within the Business Builders Book Club away for free. All you have to do is download the PDF, and I am going to give you a link to purchase it from Amazon just in case you want to purchase the book. But the link is up to date, everything is fine in the link, and you just go click the link and download the book. It's nothing extraordinary about it. You just have to be in my community. I am not posting the links to these books on Facebook. You have to be in my community to get the links to these books. And it's a reason that I'm doing that because I am building up my own community and I'm not going to let Facebook hate on me. Now, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and everybody that read the first book with me. I appreciate y'all. We are going to get into another live stream once I end this one. Y'all stay tuned.